I think anything goes. Okay. Hey, so we are live. This is Alex and Joe, and we're talking about AI for the underdog. So this is our first real episode, and today what we're going to talk about is how did we get involved in AI? Like Alex owns an agency, Marketing for Greatness. I own an agency, Top like Joe, and we got involved with AI, quite frankly, because it cut what is the most valuable thing all of us have, Alex? All of us.
Well, I mean, the only thing we can't get back is time.
That's
So
right.
if
So
we could save it, we might as well save it.
time is the most valuable thing out there. And I know there's going to be a lot of people out there because I have friends that are emailing me saying, AI's for the devil. And, a lot of people misunderstand or they just don't know what AI is. They hear all this stuff on TV and, or they read these reports about how AI is going to take out everybody's job.
It is. People are making robots now with ChatGPT where you could just see, like, it could automatically see what it is, interpret it. Like, it's going to get crazy.
It is going to get crazy. So who's going to be left behind in the world? People that are not grasping the idea of AI. And AI comes in a million forms. Like Alex just said, you can make these robots now. They're making robots. And we use AI for a different reason. We use it for our own agency business for like as a help for writing. Like for instance, I didn't do blogs. All we did was Google ads in my agency, Alex. And I'm not a writer. And a lot of you that might be following this know me already. And you know that I flunked kindergarten. I have bipolar, ADHD, and dyslexic. Now, who the hell flunks kindergarten, right? Like I had to be really bad. And so anyway, I grew up in grammar school in the special class, right? I was in the special class. I didn't know how to teach kids like me. So I didn't get the education most of you got, right? And so not only did I have it hard because you got made fun of because you're in the special class. And listen, kids are the meanest people on earth. Like if you want to start a revolution, use all the kids because they're ruthless, man. They will take an eye out and not even think about it, right? And start eating their pudding again after they do that. So I got, I had it really tough in school. I made it to the 9th grade and that was it. I couldn't do it anymore.
So let's fast forward and let's see. Okay. So you went through all that, but like, how did AI change everything for you?
Because, so in my agency, all we did was like Google ads, Facebook ads, LinkedIn ads, that kind of, we did PPC only. Now, because I wasn't writing blogs and I didn't have employees to do all this stuff, I wasn't going to write a blog. Now, yes, I can write headlines. I'm good with that, right? They say
marketing. Well, I mean, that's actually a big part of it, right? Like the hook to try and catch them to like the attention. Like you're trying to literally steal attention from everybody, your competitors online right now.
That's right. So because I got involved in AI, like it started in 2022 on Black Friday. Now, I've heard of AI a little bit. I wasn't following it. Like I heard the same stuff you heard like it's going to be robots are going to take over the world. How many of you have ever seen iRobot and they kind of start taking over, right? So we all have this fear. And that's a real fear. Like, I don't know. I don't work with AI that way. So I bought Jasper. On Black Friday 2022, I wasn't even sure what I was buying. It was great marketing. So I bought a whole year, like 1 million words. And then you took these tests and you got an extra 500,000 words. So I had 1.5 million words. And I remember using AI for the first time, Alex, where you put like a keyword in or give it a description, which those of you that don't know is a prompt. Now, Alex, next to me, Alex is a prompt engineer. And what the heck is a prompt engineer? Well, it's a guy that big Fortune 500 companies are hiring prompt engineers for anywhere from $320,000 to $380,000 a year. That's how valuable they are. So a lot of stuff is changing. So I met Alex because he was doing these prompts, and I actually met him through AI. We're using the same software, and we got introduced and became really good friends because we both have talents the other doesn't. So we really complement each other. So here we are. Here I am using Jasper. And those of you that use Jasper, you put in a little content and then it writes this thing. It writes whatever you ask it. Like, how to start a marketing agency in 2024, right? It's almost here. And so it would give you, it would write some stuff about how to start a marketing agency in 2024. But
Is that
then
what you
it
used?
stopped. Huh?
Is that what you use? You're like, ooh, I'm gonna use this.
Well, look, now people, listen, this is very primitive what I'm talking about. It's my first exposure. So I'm thinking I can actually write stuff now because it does it for me. Right. And so you control J. Now I haven't been in Jasper in 6 months. Maybe they changed that. I don't know. January of 2023, I see this Facebook ad for Content at Scale. And everything changed for me at that point. I remember buying, they had like a 3-blog package. And I was used to using Jasper, right? You control J, it keeps writing, ask it some more, give it some more commands, right? All AI is a secretary that will not quit, doesn't take lunch breaks, doesn't need to go home at night, doesn't need to go home to their husband. AI is the perfect secretary. Think of it as a Stepford wife. They sit in the corner until you ask a question, and it does. Remember that movie?
Yeah, I've seen it.
I remember that kind of deal, right? But anyway, so I'm writing this stuff, and I'm all excited. Now I get Content at Scale. And I remember putting in a keyword. I didn't know a lot about it. It's brand new. So I bought their 3 blogs. They had this starter package. I remember I put the keyword in and I gave it a little prompt and it wrote me like this 3,000 word blog. And I'm like, hold it. I don't have to do Control J and all that. It just wrote me a blog. And so I read it and I'm like, you know what? This is pretty good. Like it needs a little work, even though I'm not great at English, I know how to read.
Yeah, but it should always be like that though. There should always be a little bit of that, 50-50 element,
That's
human
right.
finesse.
So I started separating the paragraphs and stuff, right? And I saw it look better. And then I was really impressed that it did a table of contents for me. It was all in there. It had outbound links, all this stuff, right? And so I'm thinking, oh my gosh, now I didn't pull the trigger right away. I'm still thinking, okay, what am I going to do with all this now, right? Because I'm not doing blogs or SEO or anything like that. Even though I understood SEO, it just wasn't my agency plan, right? My plan was just to do PPC. So as you know, Alex, because of this, now we've grown and I've got 37 employees now. I got all these expert writers on my team and that we're writing, 100 blogs a month or more. And the funny thing is I trained my first team member. So it was a blind leading the blind. Like I'm not a writer, but I showed her how to use the platform. They are so far advanced for me now, Alex, that it's unbelievable. There's no way I can keep up with them. They're experts, every one of them. And then what happened at Content at Scale is Julia came up with this craft system. And basically craft system is teaching you how to write blogs using AI. And I'm sure you saw her craft system, right? So I started using that. I started giving that to my team members. And they started writing even better. And now, of course, it's updated. But so here's the bottom line. Because of AI, I've increased my monthly reoccurring income because I'm an agency that does stuff reoccurring. We do Google ads every month. SEO is ongoing. It's not a one-time thing as people might think, because what are your competitors doing that are at the top? They're not just sitting there. But then what do we do with everybody's using AI now? They're all writing this stuff. This is where having prompt engineers like Alex, having really good prompts that outdo anything else on the market, right? This is where your writers understand how to use that personal touch. Like everything that, sure, AI can write it 95% now. It's done. The grammar's right. The outbound links are in there. But you need that human touch, right? Like you need that personal experience.
That finesse.
So now my employees like yours, we contact the client, we get all their personal experiences and we add these to the blogs because Google loves, because what does that mean? Experience, authority.
Exactly.
It's a personal thing. I actually clean carpets with a truck mount carpet cleaning machine for 27 years. So I have all this experience being in thousands of homes, right? That's a personal experience. But
if you don't tell it, it's like you're basically not even training it. So it's like you have to train it. You need that context.
Right. Listen, what we're touching on right now, it's much bigger than this. We're telling you our journey. Because of AI, I now have a thing called the Ultimate 16 Marketing Package. We do everything, backlinks. What do you need for a backlink, Alex? You need a guest post. I'm asking you a question. I'm answering.
Yeah, you definitely need a guest post, or you need to just be featured on somebody else's more authoritative website.
That's right. So that's what we do now, because we can actually write the guest posts that are unbelievable. So everybody wants to use our guest posts. Who doesn't want to use all these words on their website? And we get the backlink, right? But we're not going on. We like using sites that are like if I have a carpet cleaner, I'm not going to use a food establishment on a backlink on a food website.
Yeah, it has to be relative.
Yeah, like 100%. A flooring company. So, a flooring company would be a great.
So I have a question for you, Joe. So are you finding a lot of success when you're doing your backlink outreach because of the long form articles?
Absolutely. Like in fact, we just did 4 of them yesterday. So awesome. So I have a team of these people. They don't work for me, but they're on my team of 60 people that search out these backlink, the websites that we can use that are related to my clients, right? So I have niches, So and it has to have a certain amount of followers, like of traffic, every month. And it has to be a 50 or more domain authority, right?
Those are nice backlinks.
So we're going for very high end backlinks, right? But when you have content that actually helps them also, who doesn't want that on their website, right? Like,
no, you're right. It's a smart play.
So that's what we're doing. And so we weren't doing any of that. So I've increased my business over 40,000 a month just in 6 months, right? So what happened, Alex, is what I did, and I know you're doing some of the same stuff, is I saw this happening, and I knew I wanted to do this Ultimate 16 thing, right? I wanted to give Neiman Marcus quality work for Walmart prices. Now, my wife said most young people don't even know what Neiman Marcus is. Think of it as a very high-end store. Walmart is not a high is for price, right?
It's like the Walmart and Target. It's like Target and Walmart.
So I'm giving Walmart prices because of all this. So I went out and hired all these employees to start. They're all experts in their own field. Like I have graphic artists and I have everything, right? I have video editors, because we're doing all these things now, but I couldn't have done it without AI, because half the stuff we're doing, you need content. And I wasn't creating content. Now, here's a guy that doesn't even know what a verb is, creating more blogs than most people out there, because I knew how to hire smart people. So with AI, you don't have to do the work. You find the person that can do it for you, because what AI has done is this. So this is what, I don't have this experience because I wasn't doing blogs, but I hear a really good 3,000 to 4,000 word blog would take maybe 3 or 4 days with a good writer. And it would cost $300 to $500 to create that blog. We can now do that same work and even better than that expert in less than 3 hours. With the research, the pictures, everything. AI is so important for businesses now. And look, I am just like you are, Alex. I'm talking to people daily that are afraid of it. They're not going to do it. They're never going to do it.
Yeah. But that fear and sitting on the bench there's nothing helpful about that. You can't grow. You can't grow if you're doing that.
Well, you're not going to be able to compete with people like me and you, Alex, because we can do it at a better price, because we can do it quicker. Because what was the first thing we talked about? Time. You can't buy time. And if you could do something in 3 hours instead of 3 days, that's a lot of time saved. Plus, it costs less because it didn't take 3 days. Now, content so that's why we call it AIO for optimization. And we learned that, Alex and I both learned that from Content at Scale. Now, Alex might have known it already because Alex was already writing blogs. He's probably one of the top 10 SEO minds in the world that, because I've talked to a lot of people. And
I'm a hidden gem. I'm a hidden gem.
A hidden gem. He's extremely talented in this, but he worked for big agencies with a lot of people and a lot of data. So you learn stuff, right? And so thankfully, Alex has even helped my team, right? Like get better at SEO. Here's the thing. Why would Alex help a competitor? Right? Like, why would he even help a competitor? Why would I help Alex? I'm doing some stuff for him because Alex isn't great at certain things also, like Google Ads. So I'm really good at that, so I can help Alex. So when you help other people, like, look, I've lived by this forever. Zig Ziglar, you help enough people get what they want, you'll get everything you want. And it's been true my whole life. There's no, like, people that hoard stuff and don't want to share, right? That's
well, I mean, if you think about it, the majority of the people who are actually like who are paying attention, who are willing to experiment, they're the ones who are winning. They're finding use cases. They're going to, you know, I honestly think that we're like in the best time of our lives because we have these resources. Can you imagine that a couple years ago, YouTube became like essentially an educational hub,
Yep.
right? And then people were learning from YouTube, and they were just, now people are making a killing on YouTube. But like this is kind of like that same thing where now you have an assistant in your pocket, like you said earlier, that can actually help you, that you could argue with and say, this is not right, I don't like it, can you change it? And you know, like a regular assistant, if they didn't do something right, you would ask them to redo it, right? In a very conversational, kind of authoritative, like I'm the boss kind of way. You could do that with AI. I'm not saying that you should mistreat it or try and break it. The real goal is that if you're really going to use it correctly, and you know, talk to it and tell it, hey, look, I like that idea, but it's not possible for me right now. What can you do with, you know, I have $100 in my bank account. What can you recommend? And can you give me several options? And I really like that. Can we dig deeper into it? Can you tell me how to do this step by step? I'm a newbie. Like there's so much that you could learn just by talking to it and experimenting with it.
I know. And that's what Alex has done for several years now. And he's become like this prompt engineer, because a prompt can be as easy as list all the different ways to professionally clean carpet. There's a prompt, right? And it might list it. Alex's prompt might be 2 pages, where we might get like 10,000 words on this thing with a whole article and everything, because Alex has learned through trial and error, just like he's saying. And I've watched him do it, and it's really quite amazing to watch you in action, Alex, because I'm watching you build this thing out, and I know it takes hours and hours for you to build these out, but once you have them built, it's like
it's
done.
Like, you gotta like
now
if anything, adjust or tweak it like a little bit, like, you know, like that.
So you do that. So listen, on this show, we're going to be teaching easy ways to use AI. It's not going to just be about us talking about how we got involved, but people need to understand that we got involved with AI, and especially me. What a case study! A guy that doesn't know English real well. I know how to talk. I'm talking, but I wasn't good at English in school, so I don't know, where does a comma really go? What's a semicolon? I know a verb's an action word, but what is that word? Where do I put it? With AI, I don't have to know nothing. I don't have to know it at all. I push a button and bam, I got all this stuff. Then I was smart enough, of course, to hire people to do this. But what I did in my company, Alex, and you know the story, I hired, because I was going to do the Ultimate 16 marketing, and I hired all these employees before that was even done, because I knew if I was going to tell people I can do all this stuff, I needed all these people trained. And of course, I bring in experts in each area. That's why there's so much value. So I was at 85% labor in my company. You're going to go under at 85% labor. But, you know, if you don't take risks in life, nothing, you don't get any big rewards. Now I'm at 43% and bringing in like an extra $40,000 a month directly related to AI. Now, the people that are afraid of it, they're not bringing anything, right? They can't compete with us. You can't physically write 100 blogs a month. It's impossible. You can't. No one can do that. Maybe I don't know, like maybe not 3,000 words with all the research. Impossible. We can do that. We're doing it. And so like my account always has like 150 credits, and a credit is a blog. Think of it like that, 150 blogs, right? And so we're constantly writing blogs on my team. And now because of AI, weekly, I'm bringing people in on the Ultimate 16. And so I know when we do that, I have to get more people hired, right? Because that's a lot of work. So my goal in my company, just like yours, your goal is, I believe, Alex, is like
Well, for us, it's a little bit different. Like for you and your team, like you guys are helping other business owners,
Yes.
with the overseas and being able to produce content more frequently across everywhere. That's where
Yeah.
the omnipresence comes into hand when we're talking about AI for the underdogs. Because like
Yes.
to me, for the people who are sitting on the bench or just not willing to play with it yet, it's evolving so fast that once you actually step foot into the arena, it's going to be a lot harder because you're gonna be overwhelmed, right? I have an Excel document with 75, I think it is, or maybe 50 of tools with outlines on whether or not it's a free or a paid AI tool,
Yep.
a description of what it does. And the goal or the purpose of that is to be able to give it to people and say, hey, look, maybe there's a tool here for you that could save you a lot of time, that could simplify your life. Like here
Yeah.
it is, and I hope you use it. Try out a free trial. Like a lot of people are willing to create a brand new email just for a fake, like a new Netflix account to get
Yeah.
that 1 month. Do the same shit. Do the
Dude,
same
that is.
thing.
Did you all just hear that golden nugget? Create 50 emails and you can get a free account with Netflix every month. Just use your next email. Thank you, Alex. That was a nugget. That's a gold nugget.
I don't know. Well, I don't know if Netflix still allows you to do that, but I'm pretty
I know.
sure, like, all these players, these bigger players, these Hulu's, Netflix, like you give them an email and it's brand new to their database, they're going to give you something. And it's usually a month or 3 months. Why can't you do that with these AI people?
Why do you think I have 9 emails? I've done it with software. You get 14 days free, and I just use my next email, right? Like, look, we're all trying to get stuff for free. Believe me, no one's a complete angel here. We're all trying to do the best we can, make a profit, keep our employees employed. Right now, I have a lot of employees now, like Alex was saying, and yes, our job is to do it for you, to do all this, like to. So, for instance, our job on the Ultimate 16 is to do 16 different marketing platforms for you. Alex is, on the other hand, is very high end on what he does. So he's working with companies that want very high end SEO, right? Like very high end. The guy with his brain, but it's expensive. It costs more, but you get what you pay.
Pricey. But it's like you mentioned before, we're not really competing, right? We're in the same arena, but we're not competing. And the difference is because, I haven't met another agency owner with a package like that, with PPC, with articles, with pillars. Like you're literally doing it all, and for a reasonable price. I think, what do you have it at, like 4,200? I honestly think it's like a $10,000 value, but whatever. What do I know?
So I never hear anybody complain. Now, here's one complaint I've got. I had a client, one complaint. Like most of my employees are in the Philippines now. It's not slave labor. It's not a third world country. Listen, all my team members, most of them live in Cebu, and Cebu's sort of like Silicon Valley in the United States. All the people that graduated from college that have these degrees, and they have years experience in doing Google ads or SEO or whatever. In order for me to do it at 4,200, all 16 of those items, I can't be paying American prices. Now, I was called out on it. Why don't you have American employees? I do. I have one. Here's the deal. If I was going to do the same deal in America, if I only had one client, it would be like $40,000, $50,000 a month you'd have to pay me. Because the difference in what I'd have to pay somebody in America because of the cost of living is that's what I'd have to charge. Because I give people 8 managers. You're right. Nobody can compete with me.
No.
And so I mean,
it sucks, and I understand why you do it. Don't get me wrong, but like, a smart business owner would do the exact same thing.
Yeah.
And to be honest with you, you're right. Like it'd be good to hire American talent, and I have, and sometimes I'm able to keep them on, and sometimes I have to let them go. But realistically, it's because the price point is too high. I'm not going to try, and you can't give them like $1,000 and hope that they live a decent life and they're paying crazy expensive rent. That's like $3,000 a month. Like you can't give somebody that and be like, what are they, an intern? But you want to use them for your specialty. Like for what you're doing, every single one of your employees or your 8 team members that handle each individual account, it's like they're all specialists. Some are doing ads, some are doing the writing, some are doing the graphics. Like it's all different. And in order to get that same thing here in the States, like it'd be literally like you said, like $50,000 a month, and that's just in employees.
That's right. And I would bring that number down once I had 7 clients paying me, right? Once I had 7 clients paying me, that number would come down because it dilutes it. So like my team works on 7 clients, and as we do that, we have more employees. So I'm continuously hiring and training. But when I say training, we just hired another Google Ads person. He has 12 years experience already. Plus, he was working with e-commerce sites that do 100,000 plus a month in ad spend, like clicks, right? So I have an extreme expert that I just brought in, but he also knows search ads really, really well. He's done it for 12 years. It's not like I'm training him. He's learning our system, right? And what's cool about this is why it's going to be hard for people to do what I'm doing, is because you would have to be me, right? You would have to treat people like I treat my employees. Now look, I was married to a Filipino, my first wife. My son's half Filipino, so I have a love for the country. My son, my granddaughters have it in them, right? But we got divorced when he was young. But anyway, he's so I have a love for it, right? And I understand the culture. I've been there. I was in the Navy, right? And so, and it's not like people think, because people think, well, it's not. I'm not going to name any other countries. They speak as good, if not better, English than me. That's why I bring my clients onto our meetings. And you've met them, Alex. You've seen how, not only are they talented, they're extremely loyal to Top Click Joe. They do more than I ask them to do, right? Every one of them, more than I ask. It's unbelievable. My employees now, Alex, are doing Zoom meetings with the clients. And I'm waking up in the morning seeing there was a Zoom meeting and it went really well, right? It was awesome. So I have people trained. That's probably because I'm teaching them capitalism. I told you this story. Now, who's doing that? I'm teaching my employees how to hire people under them, and I pay 20% more. Capitalism. They make money on people work, because I said, look, how do I make my money? I make my money because all of you work for me, and my vision is to give the very best service anyone can get anywhere in the world. You are fulfilling that for me. So when I talk smack, it's not smack. It's really happening, right? And so I hire all these people. Now I'm teaching them how to hire under them, because of course we need people helping, because there's a lot going on in my company. And now they're making 20% on the person under them. They're paying that person, not me. I'm paying them. They're paying them. I'm giving them 20% more. But my people are never going to leave because they're too vested in the capitalism thing. I'm teaching them how to be filthy rich in their own country. So it's going to be hard to do what I'm doing unless you're me. But like you said, the great thing is, you've even done this for me, Alex. You've sent, because I have an affiliate program, and my thing is 15%. That's $630 a month. I have a guy that's almost to 10. That's 10. That's 6,300 a month. He's doing nothing. We do all the work. So what agencies are starting to do, I met an agency this morning, someone else I got from Content at Scale. He's going to work in the roofing niche. He's got all these clients, and he said, look, I can't do what you're doing, so I'm just going to send them to you. But what he's going to do, he loves SEO like you. You love SEO. So you would take on that part. He loves doing, backlinks, and there's things that he wants to do. So he's going to take that piece of the pie, and I'm going to do the rest, because he knows he can't offer the ultimate 16 at my price. And probably, I don't think anybody can, but you look, if I need, and I have used you, Alex, and I have paid Alex for his brilliance, because Alex is a specialist. So I just saw him do this thing that blew me away. Remember you did that audit?
Which one?
You did that audit and you found the problem. I'm not going to talk about who the client is. That's up to you. But I remember you found this problem and nobody else could. They were losing thousands and thousands of leads. And you found it in 2 hours. I don't know if we could have done that. Now, what Alex?
Yeah, that was definitely a special case. They lost they had 17,000 keywords and 3,000 pages, and they fell off the map of Google for like in the index for, is it 3 months?
Yeah. So, which is crazy, because they were afraid to pay somebody.
Yeah.
So now they don't even have a business. But Alex is such a specialist. And that's what's cool. I surround myself with very, very smart people in certain areas because not only does it help me, and the same with Alex. I'm very good at average PPC, and it's not something that Alex was great at. So we can handle that for him, right? So
I mean, I could do it. I just don't want to do it.
yeah, you can do it.
Always find somebody better than you to do something.
That's what I've done. That's how I hired all these people. Now I found you, and you're like this SEO genius. And look, Alex is I'm telling you what, man, he has helped my crew so much. I mean, they send him emails and he replies to them about what that my SEO people are. Now my SEO people are really, really good. I'd call them the top 10%. I just call Alex the 1%, right? Like he's the one. He's extremely intelligent in this, and I've never seen anybody do prompts like Alex. Like not even close. Look. I've been on like 20 webinars with Alex, watching him do it. I still don't get it. But when Alex,
but you understand the context part now.
I do understand all that, and I know that there's going to be a time that this is coming out where these are going to be sold because they're so valuable. But what's cool is as you saw, my employees caught on the first time. They're extremely intelligent, right? I think my greatest talent is finding people extremely smart, right? In their area to work with me. Like I found you, we're good friends now. We have our own podcast, and plus we're streaming live to Facebook and YouTube.
So what would you want to say about, let's say, like AI for the underdog? Can you explain kind of like how this concept was born? I mean, I understand that it has to do with us, but like kind of like what's the purpose and how could it potentially help people?
Okay. So the way we came up with the underdog is, I started in the beginning how I was mistreated in school. I was the underdog, right? Like like anyone that's getting beat down is the underdog. And so in this world, we're the underdog against Fortune 500 companies. I mean, they have millions and billions of dollars to throw towards the top of the top people, right? So they can do stuff a lot of like my clients couldn't do. Like how do you beat Yelp? How do you beat Home Advisor? How do you beat this person that's been at the top of Google search, right? Organic for 10 years, right? Because they got they're a huge company with, 50 plumbing trucks and all that. So they got all these people doing their SEO and stuff. How do you beat them? Well, you beat them. So our whole thing is helping the people that are getting beat down. Like most of us, 99% of you out there listening to this, you are the underdog, unless you're my client or Alex's client, because we're kicking ass. So, but nobody wants to be below the top guy because they've always been at the top, right? The one with the most money always wins. That is true in pay-per-click. But in organic, that is absolutely not true. In maps, organic, that's all the style of the work that we do. Because of AI now, right, we're able to compete with Fortune 500 companies without having 1,000 writers, right? We're able to compete. Now, look, they're hiring people like
one man marching band. Marching band.
They're starting to hire prompt engineers like Alex at $320,000 to $380,000 a year, because they know they better be the best of the best if they're going to stay where they're at. But as you can see, I've already got the best of the best in my corner right over here. And so we won't be beat. So Alex and I both have the same feeling towards it's an unfair market. It's unfair to the people that don't have millions of dollars. It's extremely unfair. And I did
there's only like 14% of the people using AI right now, and there's like 77% of all businesses are incorporating AI into some aspect of the like their business.
That's right.
So like the disparity of who's using it and who isn't, it's the businesses are using it to get more of your business, and the users who aren't willing to play with it or even purchase it, even though for $20 you have like a powerhouse in your pocket, like just splurge a little, bro. Just buy it. Just
That's right.
pay for it.
Well, and the problem is we're going to be teaching you how to use stuff like ChatGPT, the simple ones like that, right? We'll teach you how to use the platforms we're using. That's what this whole podcast is about. So if you're listening on the road, when you get to your computer at home, you'll be able to see how the slides that we'll be sharing and all that. But you'll be able to listen to the theory. And there's not a lot of people doing. There's some real high end people doing what Alex and I are doing, but Alex and I are going to take it from like kindergarten level, right? And we're going to maybe 5th grade level, and we're going to teach you very easily how to do certain things so you can do it yourself. Our job is to help you get involved in it because it is scary. Like, look, I was at having coffee with some friends of ours, and I was now remember. Young people are probably latching onto this because you're young. I'm 66.
100%.
People my age are scared to death of this stuff. In fact, I was having coffee, and not only them, but another friend of mine, a good Christian friend, said I was working with the devil, right? Like it's going to ruin the world. And then we were having coffee, and they said it was evil. And I explained it like this. I explained it like, look, so we have 20 of the smartest researchers in the world researching a cure for cancer. So you have all these people, and they have their papers, they've written all these notes, and they have these formulas. What happens if AI was able to grab all of them and put it in this mix and then come up with the best possible solution to cure cancer or to cure hepatitis or to cure whatever, right? So now you got the knowledge of the world combined now, and it comes up with a solution because it learns all the stuff they're saying, right? So think of it like that. This is a good thing. Now look, my wife's not going to let me have a Stepford wife. I asked. She said, no way, I don't get one. So because I'm thinking, who wouldn't want one, right? But plus they're probably expensive. But I said, look, the AI that Alex and I are involved in is more like writing and learning. We're not, Alex and I aren't building robots yet. Yeah. So
I actually think that's I know I'm going to segue into something else. I actually think that's going to be one of the next biggest industries. How I think we talked about this, but obviously not on here, about the animatronics that people are using for Christmas and Halloween, and how they're getting taller and taller, like 12 feet tall and stuff like that. I think that's the next step because like
different.
Realistically, like with ChatGPT and it being able to talk and all that stuff, now it's like you'll be able to talk to those things and they're moving during the holidays. It's gonna be creepy as hell.
I know
you're gonna be sitting on a robot Santa Claus, and it'd be like, Santa, I've been good. You're on the naughty list, and
it's gonna know all the naughty kids.
It's like I pulled your social. You've been horrible.
It's breaking into all the elementary schools, man, and looking at what's written up about them on transcripts, right? And so you're naughty. So
do you think that something like a social credit will ever become a real thing? Do you know what that is?
No, what's a social credit?
So the concept of a social credit is something that I believe they're already introducing in China. And the idea is that all the collective information that you have online, like from your social media and things like that, essentially calculate like credit score of who you are. And essentially, if you do something bad, you jaywalk, you get arrested, something, it essentially lowers your social credit score. Therefore, if you wanted to go buy a house, they'd be like, well, you were an asshole all in college, so you can't get this house. So
dude,
it's kind of like that.
100. If the 100's as high as it goes, for all the hell I went through, I probably get social credit for that. And yes, I do have a lot of stuff online. So look, I don't know, man. That sounds communist. So, which it is, China. So, I look, none of us are going to be able to stop this stuff that's happening. It's going to happen, right? Like there's no way to stop it.
You just got to be aware.
So I think everybody should, at least, even if you're not going to use it, you need to know what it is. You still need to know what it is, right? Like, let's say, look, AI, like you want to write your soulmate a love letter, or you want to write like something for your anniversary. Go to ChatGPT, tell it what you want, and it'll write the best letter you've ever seen. Dude,
100%.
I did something like that, and it looked like everybody said, "Oh, I'm sorry." It looked more like my wife died. Like it was an obituary, right? And it had a picture of her with the dog. It was like a birthday thing. And but that was in the very beginning. I didn't even know how to use it, right? But I was using it a little bit. Now I know how to use it, especially after watching you show me how to do better prompts, how to ask better questions, right? The right way. Because all AI is a 24-hour, 7-day-a-week secretary. That's all it is. And if you give it instruction, it's just a very, very smart secretary, right? It knows everything that we have on the internet pretty much since what did they say? They grabbed the internet like up to 2019 or something like that.
Well, everything on the internet prior to 2021, but the updated version of GPT is up to 2023 now. So
there we go. Now it's
you could also crawl the web with Bing and all that stuff.
Yeah, so we're doing that. Like even the questions we're asking now is it's grabbing all that because some questions are, that's a really good one for this answer. Then we figure out the answer, but it basically it's not like I was talking to someone else about this, right? Because I'm talking to a lot of people now about AI because that's what we're involved in, and they were saying it's going to make it was one of my clients in Florida, and she was saying that it's going to make everybody dumb, right? And that's not true because we still got to optimize it and we still got to give it the information. All it's doing, like you can without AI, you can get the same information, but it might take you 2 weeks instead of 1 minute. Like you can search the internet for answers on anything. This just has all that information already and gives you the best scenario of the information. So it helps.
What I did?
Get smarter.
What I did learn, Joe, is it's essentially called I think it's kind of like a hallucination, right? And what I mean by that is because there's so much content on the internet, right? And prior to AI, it was all created by humans. Like AI wasn't even a question, right? So it's crawling all of this content. But now with AI and with people, creating good content, bad content, shitty content, whatever, once the AI starts to use that AI content to kind of pull in information, it starts to hallucinate because it knows it's AI and it knows that the content's not really valid. So that's an interesting problem. And the way that they described it is kind of like a snake eating its tail and then kind of forming that circle where it eats itself.
Yes.
That's a concept that I've heard in the grapevines.
Wow. Well,
so because if you think about it, if all AI content just keeps on creating new content and then that's the only content on the internet, now it's a snake eating its tail and it's not really going to be able to validate what it's providing.
So what is the outcome? What's the solution to that? Does anybody know, or is that just
Wild West, baby? Wild West.
Yeah, it's just a theory, right? It's only a theory.
It's just a theory.
Right. Exactly. But if you get involved with AI now, by the time that happens, you're already retired with the money.
And hopefully some of the advice that we give people makes a lot of people money.
So that's what we're going to try to help people learn it the easy way and do the easy task because everybody should be using it because it's so powerful. It's just helpful, man. It gives you, I really do believe that AI will be the reason as we expand knowledge of the world and the universe. I think AI is going to be the one that helps cure diseases because it brings all the top people together and all of their paperwork and all of their theories, and it comes up with a solution at some point because once it understands what these doctors are writing about, because all AI is doing is reading, and it's like going to college, right? Going to school for your PhD. You're listening to the professor and you're taking notes and you're learning from the professor. AI is the same thing, right? It's learning from these top people, so it understands it. Now it understands the outcome, but then it also understands the outcome on everybody else that's experts. And when it puts it together, at some point, it's going to be a solution.
Yeah.
Right.
Do you want
to problem?
Did you happen to see? There's a video circulated on the internet where it's a robot basically has like ChatGPT in it, and it has the vision and it sees its reflection in the mirror. Have you seen that one yet?
No, I haven't seen it.
You want to see it real quick? Can I share it?
Yeah, share the screen.
So present, share screen.
By the way, thank you all for being here. Whoever's here, if you have comments, you have questions, Alex and I are always happy to answer it, and we will answer it in our prospective YouTube and Facebook pages and all that too. Let's watch this.
So does it have volume? Do you know, or do I have to mute myself?
I don't know how that works. I haven't done it. Let's try it.
Can you hear it?
No.
Just look at its facial expressions as it's looking at itself. How creepy is that?
Oh, I know. Look at that. I hate it. Oh my gosh. Now that's the kind of stuff that people are afraid of, right? So, look, I think AI is extremely powerful for businesses because what is our jobs, Alex, as agency owners? Our job is to get our clients phone calls, forms filled out, leads, right? Our job is that. And if we're still living in the past, we're doing them no justice because we're living in the past. So think of okay, 6 months ago before I got involved in AI, or no, last year Black Friday, but the past 6 months I really got into it, and we're doing 100+ blogs a month and all kinds of stuff. But before that, think of me as a snail. So I'm a snail moving along, and then I got involved in AI. Now I'm a road runner. Now, not one that gets squashed. If you're my age, you've seen the Roadrunner, beep, beep, right? It's not going to be a rock falling, but that's the difference in speed. There's a snail and a Roadrunner. So who's going to win the game? Who's going to do more work and do better work for their clients? The person using AI. You always use, and all throughout my career, even when I owned a restoration company, we did water and fire damage and things like that, Alex. Tools change, like they get better and better, right? I remember when they came out with that carpet drying fan that's like, it's like round and it blows straight down on the carpet. It goes out like 40, 50 feet and dries carpet fast. That was a huge invention. Then they came up with like heat drying. So before we would dry with dehumidifiers and air movers and all that, then we had heat drying because what does heat do? It holds more moisture. So if you can hold more moisture and your dehumidifiers can take more moisture out of the air, you dry twice as fast. So even the industry I was in evolved. Carpet cleaning machines.
Well, I mean, everything, phones, TVs, like,
But now
and the thing is that, yeah, exactly. And that's, the thing is that somebody wouldn't flinch at spending, $1,000+ on a phone. And if you really think about it, what are most businesses doing now, including the phone carriers, right? They'll give you the product, they'll essentially lease it to you, and you're on a subscription plan.
That's
you
right.
Basically, you pay monthly, and that's what makes it feel like it's more affordable. But that's actually what's eating up the majority of your cost because you're paying all these independent tools or services.
Yep.
And are you truly getting the real value out of it? Absolutely not. Not. Right. I could guarantee you 100%, 100%. And I don't like guaranteeing things for 100%, but everybody has at least one app out there that they're paying for that is just freaking milking them, and it could be pennies, it could be $10, whatever, but they're just unaware and it's just running in the background. That's why you see apps that do that now, that control your bank account, control the subscriptions, and they cancel for you, because if you're not using it, you just forget about it. The company who you're paid, they're profiting on you.
Absolutely. I have AI on my phone, man. I use ChatGPT, content, everything is on my phone also. Now, I don't like working on my phone. As you know, I have
me neither.
I have three 42-inch screens and thinking about putting a 75-inch up here, right? But I love
show off.
I know I'm showing up. So, hey, so you don't like guaranteeing stuff, but on a scale of 1 to 100%, how much better than Brad Pitt do I look?
What?
That's funny. I'm not going to get to be an actor. By the way, Alex and I are both on stage in March in Austin, Texas, the 12th and 13th, and we'll be sending out invitations to our list, right, with our affiliate links and stuff. In fact, we're talking on stage next to billionaires and things like that. So, and we're basically talking about AI and what we do with our business, because my business is doubling monthly because of AI. There's no way I could have done this. There's no way I could have had an Ultimate 16. How could I? So AI opened doors 6 months ago to, every business out there, they need a USP, unique selling proposition, right? Like you got to be unique. How the hell do you
think most people know that?
No. Well, I just told them what it was. Unique selling
true.
proposition, unique selling point, whatever you want to call it. So you got to be unique. Otherwise, why use you? So that's how I came up with the Ultimate 16 is there's a million agencies. What can I do? We're all doing this stuff. Well, I did it at a lower price and added everything to it. So it's omni-channel marketing at a price that's unbelievable. So I came up with something that was completely different than anybody else. And now I'm really getting headway on it. It's like a snowball. You make a little ball, you roll it down a snow hill, it gets bigger and bigger. There's no stopping it. So I'm at a point now where there's no stopping it, because now I'm starting to get all these agencies use my affiliate program because, well, if you can't beat them, join them. Make money some way, right? We can make a bunch of money and not let Joe worry about doing 60 different advertising platforms, not us. And so I'm going to build the largest team anyone has ever seen because of this. So I have goals that I'm working on, but it's impossible without AI. I could not have done this. And in 6 short months, I've increased monthly 40 grand. Now, that's not a lot of money to the multimillionaires out there and the Grant Cardones that have Lear jets that are worth 80 million. But for most of us out here,
would you want a jet?
Huh?
Would you want a jet, Joe?
No, I don't like flying. I'm freaking out that I got to fly to Austin, because how the hell do those things stay in the air? They're too heavy, right? So I don't know what it is, man, but it starts going up. You know how you feel that lift, and you're like, oh God, I think we're going to crash, right? You're holding on, and the person next to you hold their hand. They're like, let go of me, you bastard. And so
I just kind of hope that I'm never on one of those flights where you just get like, it's a TMZ moment or it's in the news. Like,
everything's in the news now.
It's just getting ridiculous.
Like, hey, shut up your puppy. Okay, no, you can't pet your puppy. You can't put your hand in there. Well, how do you want me to shut it up? Right? You're kicked off the plane. I've been watching all that crap, right? So now I'm probably going to be well behaved because I want to be on stage and I want to get there. Now, so I'm probably I'm not bringing a puppy, but I am always watching the stewardess, because if they look like they're freaking out, we're all going to die. So that's what I'm watching the whole time, right? Like, I'm crazy, dude. I don't like flying.
My sister's a stewardess.
Yeah, well,
she works for a National Hockey League team.
Got it.
So she's like the VIP.
Oh my God, she's on planes all the time. She's taking risks daily.
100%. Yeah, I love flying, me personally. So
yeah, well, I have to fly. And my wife and daughter-in-law were on a plane, and they said it dropped so hard. They had to take one of the stewardesses got brought off when the plane landed on a stretcher. Like, I don't know if what it did to her neck or something, but she hit the ceiling. My wife and them said it dropped, like it dropped and hit, and anyone that didn't have their seatbelt on went flying up. So that happens. Everybody's screaming. I can't even imagine it. Right, no. I'd rather have lightning hit me, and I don't even know it's happening, and it's bam.
Really?
When you're going down, you know it's going to happen.
Yeah, but you got to kind of prepare. You got to prepare for that.
Well, I'm not. What are you going to prepare? Kiss your ass goodbye?
Mentally, yeah.
Well, with lightning, you don't even have to prepare. You're just dead and in heaven. Well, I'll be.
That's even worse.
Why?
I said I'll be in heaven because it's instant, and you're walking, minding your own business, and bam, you're gone.
Yeah, that's the best way to go. Do you want to go through like a minute of and
probably not.
Yeah, me either, dude. So I'm going with my but so we have 6 more minutes now. So what we're going to be doing in our podcast is we're going to be teaching you how to do the things we just talked about. How did Joe get to 40,000 more a month and it keeps growing using AI? How did Alex all of a sudden, like before AI, you weren't doing prompts. What are you going to
No,
do
I
with
mean,
a blog?
we're still doing. I mean, we're still an SEO agency, but what we focus on is kind of like it's a little bit high level technical. It's
Yeah.
content creation, similar to what you're doing from a content creation standpoint. But for the most part, it's we have a smaller team and we're doing it kind of like niche focus. But it's basically the same thing you're doing. But I'm just not offering 16 things at an incredible price. So that's the difference.
Yeah, but
Um,
you are a
like building
specialist.
we're building like resource centers,
Yeah.
like
So,
article archives for clients. So I mean, we
and
have
we
one
all need
client
that.
now.
I
Yeah,
mean,
because
that's important.
we have one client that we did it was a homeschool resource center. And we did that. SEO takes time, obviously, and this is before AI.
Yeah.
And then now they're using AI to create content as well.
Yeah.
But um over the last like 12 months, I think they have like what 5 million impressions, over 18,000 clicks a month or something like that. So
Well, how is AI?
they're winning.
Let me ask you something. So you're doing the school stuff, right? For a school,
Mhm,
and you hear that schools now. My granddaughters are homeschooled, okay,
mhm.
so they don't have to go through all the crap. But I hear like schools are all about woke, and I just started learning what woke is. I don't even know what the hell it is. I'm 60. Like, what the hell is a woke, right? And so they're talking about like some people want to be called an it or a they or a them. How do you address one person as a they? That's like that doesn't make any sense.
I don't know, Joe, but that's
So
above
how
my
is
pay. That's above
AI?
my pay grade.
So if it's writing all this content for a school, is it writing it with wokeism? Is that even a
No,
word?
no,
And like,
man,
how's it doing it?
it's not. It's not wokeism.
What is it?
It's just it's for homeschooling. It's like homeschooling
Oh, okay.
writing
So most
education.
homeschools aren't doing that stuff, and I'm not even
Right,
sure
and
how much
it's
that stuff.
also a monastery. I think is that the name
Oh
of it?
yeah. Oh.
Monastery. Is-
There, I see. I know the words, dude. And so, maybe they're not using that, but I don't. I'm 66. I don't understand the woke thing. But look what look.
We don't have to worry
I
about
don't
that,
have to
man.
understand it. But when I'm
AI is not biased.
imagine what it was like when I was a teenager in the like in the early 70s, because I'm 66 now, when we all had hair down to here and we're all like sitting around smoking pot, taking acid, doing all that shit. What do you think the generation before us thought about our asses? These lazy bastards, right? And so who knows, right? Every generation's different. Now it's about this stuff, right? And so I don't need to understand it. I'm too old, and I'm never going to call somebody a
I just
they
think
because it doesn't make sense.
I agree with you, but I definitely think that we don't need to have to worry about that. At least when it
You
comes
know,
down to this channel or anything like that. It's just
no,
I think if we could find and empower at least one person, one young person to just like look into the things that we're talking about to, I think that, me and you spoke before, but like we'll showcase some of these tools. We'll
yes,
showcase kind of like how people could use them if they're free, et cetera, et cetera. We're going to have a downloadable kind of sheet, or maybe we can even make it simple, like a Google form, and they
yeah.
fill out the form and they get access to the Google sheet with all the tools on it, right?
I think that's
Um,
important. Absolutely. So we're
yeah,
going to
just
grow this,
to
and
give people, to give people the value. It's like these are the tools I'm talking about. These are the tools that here's a list. Sign up for a newsletter, whatever, and we'll send you updates, and we'll keep adding to this giant list of AI tools that might be of interest to you.
you want to know the best money I've spent in the last 3 months, bar
What?
none, was hiring you to teach my crew SEO. But bar none, like so, if you need a one-on-one consultant person to talk about SEO, like, look, we do it in our company, but I'm not going to consult in that. I'm more Google PPC stuff, right? Or how to grow your business from 1 million to 10 million, because that's what I've already done it. Alex is unbelievable when you get one-on-one with him, and he has a link on his website to do one-on-one hourly meetings with him. And quite frankly, he probably needs to be charging 4 times what he's charging, because it's so much value. And look, I'm lifting up a competitor right now because no way I can compete with Alex on his knowledge of SEO. It's impossible, right? But he's so good at what he did and how he taught my people that because my goal, Alex, is give my clients the very best. How can I give them the very best when I know there's this other thing over here from you that even makes it better? So we brought Alex in, and he's showed us this stuff. So I'm telling you, if you want to learn, learn advanced SEO procedures, Alex is the guy. There's no one in. I know people all over the world. There's no one better. He's extremely analytical. It doesn't matter that he has a haircut on the Three Stooges. Don't let that stop you. Okay. Like I got mine is more like Burt Reynolds or something, or no, Burt Reynolds.
Who's that guy that paints?
Paint. Shut up. That's not me. I'm more like
Bob something.
I know. I'm more like a Clint Eastwood, make my day kind of person, right? With a Brad Pitt look. That's what I'm going for, man. I want to get on those movies.
You have a thing for Brad Pitt, huh?
Well, he got to be married to Angelina Jolie, so I thought that was kind of awesome.
This is true.
She's my favorite actress, man. Like, well,
mine is Jennifer Aniston. Well, not she. Might, like good, that's always been like my white girl crush. Like, ooh,
my favorite show with Angelina Jolie is Salt. I love that show, man. It's just there. I'm kidding, of course, right? But we're going to be on stage in March in front of a lot of people, and you might want to go to it because I could be like the deer with the headlights. Like I've been on stage before with my groups. I knew everybody. What if I piss my pants on stage? Now that's a moment of video. Like that'll go viral. You want to talk about my company going viral? I need to piss my pants. It'll go viral. You know what I think I'm going to do is get a water balloon in there, and I'm going to like turn around and do this, and I'm going to go, oh no, I'm pissing my pants. And so, anything to get viral, dude. I'll do anything to go viral, as you know. So, all right, we're a minute over. We're going to be teaching you guys, of course, how to use AI the simple way, and you're going to grow with us. This is our first one. We needed to tell you our experiences. Why did we even do it? Why did I do it? How did a guy that can't even write get involved in AI writing and become one of the top ones out there now because of all the blogs we're writing, and he doesn't even understand English because AI does understand it. I don't need to understand it. Right?
There's just so much that
oh my gosh,
anybody could do. In all honesty, anybody, if you truly wanted to just apply yourself and take a weekend, shut the door, lock yourself in a room, watch YouTube videos, find a particular program that interests you. I guarantee you, if you are entrepreneurial, you'll find a way to use it to your advantage and make money off of it. And we're talking about completely free. We're talking about like you could start all these things right now, basically free. And if you just gain a little bit of insight from like people on YouTube are talking about it, just find somebody that's relatable to you and watch those videos, dude. Dedicate, sit your ass in your chair, learn a little bit of it, do it. And honestly, I know everybody's trying to get your email these days, but just do it. Do it and see what happens. And if you fail, get back up and do something else. Pivot.
That's right. Now, on our platforms, we'll start adding videos that you can watch and how you can learn. Like we'll give
Spotify.
Because we've been doing this a while now, so we know all the different things that you need to look at, right? And so you save time. Remember, Alex said he had like 100 AI things or more, whatever. I have the same thing, right? Like I have all these tools I went through, and then I found the best of the best. I found out what was best, but that didn't happen in one day. So now with us, we're going to show you, we're going to cut out all that fluff, and you go right to the ones that you really, really need, not the stuff that's going to waste your time. So that's what we're going to be showing you in our show. Thank you all so much for being here. We love you. God bless you. Thanks, Alex. I really enjoy helping people get ahead.
Is this going to be our exit? This is how we're exiting.
Well, it sounds like that, doesn't it? We got to end it some way. It's 4 minutes after. What do you want me to say?
You're right. No, it was great.
Listen, I think we should end it with the Mickey Mouse song. M-I-C.
We definitely have to find, maybe it's OBS where we could have like another screen open where we could actually record and you could hear that audio, because I would like to, not only show other people's stuff and how they're talking about it, but simultaneously like be able to say, this is what's happening, and then we could talk about it. You get it?
I like that idea too. So we're not really, this thing can go in a whole bunch of different ways, our podcast, because AI is changing so rapidly. Like weekly, we're learning new things. So we're talking about new things. We might say next week we're talking about this, and there's this big change. Who's the dude that got fired that was OpenAI? What's his name again?
Sam Altman.
Sam Altman, the stupidest decision a company could ever make. Microsoft basically got him for free. They got OpenAI without paying
he's back.
Huh?
Well, he's back. He's already back at OpenAI.
I didn't know that. They must have.
They went to oust the previous board. It was a whole freaking debacle.
I didn't hear about that. So he's back.
Oh yeah, he's back.
You know what's good about that? You know what's really good about that? Huh?
What? It's a shakeup. That's what I think.
No. The best thing about that is I didn't want Microsoft having the dude that was this dude at OpenAI with all the brains. So they had all this stuff at Microsoft. It needs to be in this one place, not one in like Microsoft.
Well, Microsoft already has like, I'm not even sure if this is a good quote, but I think it's like 49% interest or something like that.
Oh my gosh!
Like they own like basically half of it.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Elon Musk too.
I'm thinking Elon Musk. Yeah, I just bought 51% of it for $4.5 billion. But it was fake money. I created the money in AI and I sent it to them.
Smart.
They haven't
so Elon Musk is coming out with Grok, and Grok is gonna come out soon as well. And I think it's named Grok, Grok or something like that. And
Elon, I think he's an.
Well, he started OpenAI. He's on the board, or basically has something to do with OpenAI. But Grok, if you really think about it, it kind of could be like in real time. And what I mean by that is because, when something hits the internet about news or something from across the world, et cetera, it's typically on Twitter first.
Yeah.
So imagine that Grok is like, you ask the AI something and it's like, is what's happening in, I don't know, Libya or whatever. It's going to know up to date based on that and whatever other large language models they kind of
that's awesome.
Bring in.
I mean, that's awesome.
It's gonna be sick. It's gonna be
our world's changing, and if you don't understand it, you're left behind. We're gonna be driving around in flying saucers, and you're gonna wonder what's happening.
I want the Marty McFly.
I want one of those skateboards too, dude. The hover thing.
That's what I was looking forward to in 2024.
I want the Back to the Future car so I can.
DeLorean.
Well, no, I want to go ahead like a day so I can get the lottery numbers, then go back and do it. I just need that. Give me the lottery numbers, man. I don't need anything else. Then I would go back to when Facebook was starting and buy a bunch of stock, bunch of Google stock. Imagine all the stuff you can do with the knowledge you have if you can go back in time. Damn. And AI is going to do that for us. We're doing it now. Alex and I aren't even from this century. We're from 2222. Have you ever heard that song? We put it in their head in the year 2525. If man is still alive, if woman can survive. I think we're going to quit at the song because no one wants to hear me sing.
No.
Not even you, Alex. All right. Thank you all so much. We'll see you next week, Wednesday at 12 o'clock Central Time. No, 1 o'clock Central Time. 1 Central. And 12 Mountain, and of course Pacific is 11 a.m. East time is what, 2? Yep. There we go. See you all then. Awesome. Bye-bye now.
Bye.